my stomach's got butterflies in it. I shared with you maybe last week that I had wondered about my purpose after I stopped working, teaching after many years, and had to have surgery on a tumor that was under my tongue. What I didn't say was in August, they diagnosed me with some type of stomach issues. So we had the proper procedures, and they discovered 14 polyps. Not all of them were benign. And they kept telling me that they weren't benign. But I felt like somebody was hitting me in the stomach, but there was a shield there. It wasn't penetrating. Then I had a stomach issue that required like 4,200 milligrams of antibiotics for 3 weeks, which was absolutely no fun, before we could do anything else. So I had people praying. I was up, walking up and down, praying, awake off and on. I had former students that were writing scriptures down for me and sending me scriptures. And I searched the Word and I said, Lord, is this what you want? What do you want me to do? I know that. And I had reached a point where I finally felt scared, because there had been so many people saying, why don't you do something about it? Why don't you go? Why don't you? And you know this is bad. And you know how people do. Because we think in a natural. We think there is no hope. Yeah. And thank you, incidentally, for the music. It ministered to my heart. It spoke exactly what I needed this morning. So anyway, finally I consented to let them do, after seeing 3 different doctors, none of whom were believers. Okay, the last one I saw was a Muslim doctor, and very nice, very kind, very pleasant. And so he said, well, we're going to do this. And I'm not concerned about this, because they removed everything except for the final polyp that was not benign and that could cause some problems. But I'm not worried about that. I can just go in and take it out. You hear the I, okay? And he was very confident. He said, I'm one of a few people that can do this, and so I'm going to just go in, zip it out. The one I am concerned about is this one. Well, that one was already gone. And I said, well, I wouldn't be concerned about it, because I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to regress for just a minute, because at the very lowest point, when I just felt like I couldn't anymore, I couldn't carry it, I couldn't stand alone, I felt like I was facing this all by myself, because my children were afraid for me. And my husband, bless his heart, he doesn't dare say anything, because I'm like, don't you speak that over me. But bless his heart, I'll pray for him. He, and he stood by me the whole time, never saying a word, I'm sure praying. But at that point, I came down to the altar and just wept. And I felt an emptying. God, I can't do this by myself. I feel like I'm standing alone. And then at one point, when I turned to walk away, I came over and Julie was over here praying. And my heart was hurting for her, so I prayed with her. And as I turned to walk away, somebody who was standing right over there where Gunnar was sitting, grabbed me. Literally just grabbed me and said, it only takes one. Jesus was only one, and he changed the world. As though God had heard my voice. Imagine that. And so he said, and so she continued to say, and you may have to go through some fire, but after this is all over with, people are going to stand dumbfounded at what the Lord has done. Family, friends, and unbelievers. Well, now we come back to the day before yesterday. I went in, and I'm a hard stick. They got to stick me 4 or 5 times, and I don't like that. So the lady when I went in, the lady took 1 stick, and it was done. She was a Christian lady. She said, I had to call on Jesus to help me. And so I knew, I should have known then God was going to do something. And as I hung on to that word. So we had prayed before I left with some of the people at my school that God would give us a notable miracle, like the one in Acts chapter 4, where the man went walking and leaping and praising God, and they could not deny that God was God, that God had done that miracle, because he'd been lame for 40 years, remember? In any case, so I'm out. I'm telling these people that are working on me, we've been praying for you. I thank you for all the work that you're doing, but just know that there's an undergirding of prayer going on for you people, and it's all going to be good. Let's get this party started. And I didn't know anything else. And when I woke up, I was just waking up, and the doctor had come in, and he stood there dumbfounded with his mouth open. He said, I don't understand what happened. I don't know. It wasn't there. It was gone. He said, I called the doctor who had tattooed it, and we took pictures of it, and it was not there. We went back over an hour and a half. They kept me in there extra with 3 different doctors looking to see if they could find the thing. And he stood there like a child. I felt so bad for him because he couldn't believe it could be a miracle. And there's people out there that don't believe, that can't believe that God could do something like that. And you think, okay, now I'm going to go to my notes because I don't know what I said on the other side. But my point, if you're my Facebook friend, you've seen me walk through this, and I've shared, and I've kept it really quiet. I've not been really open with a lot of people. But my thoughts were, when my little student who sent me all the scriptures, she said, well, you deserve this. You've just done so much. You've been a missionary, for many years. You've taught many people in Christian schools, blah, 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 blah. And I kept thinking in my heart, not because of who I am. Yes. It's not because of what I've done. That's right. It's because of who He is. Amen. It's because of His great love. And that's what mercy is. Undeserved favor. I don't deserve it any more or any less than anybody else. I'm covered by the same blood of Jesus that you are covered by if you know Him as your Lord and Savior. When we take communion, it will be the same blood that I remember that washed me clean 48 years ago. That's right. And you know what? We stand amazed when we pray that God will do a notable miracle. And I said, it wouldn't surprise me if it was gone when they go in and take it out. Well, it did. So I'm going to tell you, when it looks like and when they speak words over you, remember that God has the last word. Amen.